Hello everyone. I hope everything is great. So today we will learn the pseudo elements in CSS. So for this I created one HTML file with the title pseudo elements and also create one external CSS file. Linked this file into the head section with the link tab. So let's first add the heading. So let's discuss what is the pseudo elements and what are the pseudo elements available in CSS, how we use that. Let's start. So first we discuss the pseudo elements. So by pseudo elements we can select a portion of the element, or we can say a part of element. We can say we can style the part of an element. pseudo elements से हम एक एलिमेंट का पार्ट और एक पोर्शन ऑफ द एलिमेंट हम सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, उसको स्टाइल कर सकते हैं, राइट. सो व्हाट इज द सिंटैक्स ऑफ द pseudo elements? First we need to write the selector, then use two colon symbols for the pseudo elements, and then write the pseudo element specific, and then use the curly braces, and here we need to write property and their value. So this two colon syntax is introduced from CSS3. Before CSS3, what is the case? We use only the single colon as we used in the pseudo classes. But from CSS3, this double colon syntax will be introduced. So this is the recommendation, or we can say the standard practice. Always use the two colon syntax for the pseudo element. Few browser, or we can say most of the browsers support both the syntax, like the single colon pseudo element as well as the double colon pseudo element. Okay, so there are multiple pseudo elements available in CSS. Those are I add one order list here. Inside this, I add the list item, copy this, paste. So first pseudo element is first line or first letter. Second is first line. Then we have the before pseudo element, after pseudo element, marker, and selection. So first letter represent, as the name suggests, it select the single letter from an element. So assume this is the complete element, paragraph element, and it have following text line, and by use of this first letter we can select the first letter of this element and style that. By the first line we can select the first line of an element, and then we can style that. In before we can insert some text, some images, maybe string, it can be string, image, or maybe Unicode symbols we can insert before this element, and with after we can add this content after this element. With marker we can style the numbers, If I save this and go to here, refresh. So by marker, we can style these markers for the list. This way we can select the both ordered and unordered list. We can style both the lists marking, and with the selection we can style the selected part of the HTML. So in website, when you select, this is the default behavior. It have the same color that we set for the any font or any text, and the background is having this default color. But we can customize this thing as well with the selection pseudo element. So let's start and discuss one by one. First I add the heading, first line, go here, refresh, okay. And what we can did with the first line, by this we can style the first line of an element. Okay, so this paragraph I think does not have the complete line. So for this we add some random text. I copy this text from this website. It can be anything. I add this random text here and refresh. Now, so this paragraph have multiple line, and by this first line pseudo element we can select this first line of this paragraph and style that. How we can did this? Let's try. So go to the CSS. First I need to write the selector, then use the double colon symbol, and then the first line. Color, we can set the color. We can set the background color as well. Save, go to here, refresh. You can see every paragraph first line is selected and having the color crimson and cyan background color, you can see. If you want, you can add the class as well, so that only that paragraph is selected. First line, you can give any name as the class. Now in paragraph, then use the class symbol dot and paste the class name. Now the paragraph that having the first line class, that paragraph first line will colored with crimson and background color cyan. Let's save this, go to browser and refresh this thing. So as you can see, the first line of this paragraph only we are selecting and updating the style of this single line. So that's all about the first line. Let's discuss another pseudo element, which is first letter. So what does this? By this we can style the first letter of an element. How we can do this? Let me add one class here, give the name first letter. Save this, go to external CSS, write paragraph with first letter class. We can add any name instead of first letter, then use two colon and first letter pseudo element. Okay, here we can, let me first add the color dark blue. Save this, go to here, refresh. Okay, this is not selected. I use the right pseudo. Why this is not reflecting? P dot first letter. Let me remove this class. Try with this thing. What goes wrong here? Let me write it again. First letter, color blue. Save this, go here, refresh. Okay, now this is updating. Not sure why. First letter, only this letter is updated with the color. We can also set the font size for this. Let me choose 24 pixel. Save this, go here, refresh. You can see the first letter font size and color is styled with this first letter pseudo element. Okay, so that's all about the first letter pseudo element. Let's discuss the another pseudo element which is before. So what does this? By this we can insert content before the content of an element. Before the content of an element we can insert some content, and that content may be string, Unicode symbol, or maybe image. Okay, so let's use this. I add the class here before content. So how we can select this paragraph with class before content pseudo element before. Here we have a special property content. We can give the value maybe not. So what does this thing do in our code? This not text will be added before this paragraph. You can see not is inserted before this text. Here instead of doing this we can add the Unicode symbol. There are a list of Unicodes available. You can see this symbol represent this thing. E. Okay. Also we can change the font size. Let me add 24 pixel. Okay, so now this symbol is easily visible. You can see. Also we can add the image with URL. There are some pixels, some images available. Let me add this image tree.png. Go to browser, refresh, and this tree image is inserted before this element. We can align with vertical align middle. So now text is in middle. Okay, let me. So this text, this image is inserted just before this text. So this is basically the before pseudo elements. You can add the string before any text, or maybe specific image, or maybe some Unicodes you can insert. Same as we have the before, we have the after pseudo element. Let me copy this after, and this will insert the content after the of an element. Okay, here I give the before after. Now if I copy this thing and change this content to after content, okay, save, refresh, this is the before, and okay, so this image is after this that. Oh, I did after content, I did the wrong thing. Before, here I need to change the after. I think image is not, let me, both the have same effects. Let me add one string. Go to here, refresh after. I need to change this as well. Sorry, I did not use the after. So now this is added after the this content. You can see, as well as we can use this image that is also added at the end or after the content of the element. You can see this is now added after the content. Actually, this is the mistake of copy paste. Whenever you did this, you missed something. So this is all about the before and after pseudo elements. Let's discuss two more, which are the marker and the selection. So we are already created this list. Let's style this thing li with the marker pseudo element. Color, I use the chocolate color. Go here, refresh, you can see these numbers are now with the chocolate color. We can also change the font size, 24 pixel browser, and you can see even now if I change from ordered list to unordered list, we just need to change the O to U and it will show the unordered bullets before this. So this way you can, with the marker element, you can style these things. Now let's discuss the selection part. So by default, if you select, you think the text color is not changed and we have one this gray color background. We can update this thing as well. So how? For this we use selection pseudo element, and here I use the background color, maybe yellow. Go here, refresh. Now if I am selecting this, you can see we have the background yellow color for every paragraph. We can also change the color property of this, red. Now if I am selecting, see the text color is also updating with the red color and it have the background yellow. So this way you can select the selected part of the website. So these are all pseudo elements by which you can style the part of an element in CSS. With the first line, you can select the first line of an element. With first letter, you can style the first letter of element. Before and after, you can insert the element, maybe string, image, or Unicode. And with the marker, you can style the list markers with both ordered and unordered list. And with the selection pseudo element, you can customize the selection of the paragraphs. So that's all about this video. If you like this video, then please like it, share it, and subscribe our channel. For now, that's it. Goodbye, guys.